Welcome to No Tech, where we're making observations and ask questions like, why is China cracking down on Bitcoin mining? We all know that Bitcoin fell $30,000 in June of this year. There were two reasons behind Bitcoin's recent crash. First, Elon Musk had announced that his company, Tesla Inc., is not only selling off its Bitcoin holdings, but it has also stopped accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment for its electric cars. Well, Bitcoin could have recovered easily if China hadn't started its crackdown against Bitcoin mining. For those who don't know, China has told banks as well as payment platforms to stop supporting Bitcoin transactions. In this video, I'll be telling you why China is doing this. But before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to No Tech. We also plan on doing cool giveaways, so don't forget to hit that bell icon so you never miss any updates. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. In June of this year, an order was issued in Sichuan province to stop Bitcoin mining. Then, the Central Bank of China announced that it had summoned multiple major banks in the country as well as payment companies to call on them to take tougher actions over crypto trading. You will be surprised to know that the People's Bank of China stated, banks were told to not provide products or services such as trading, clearing, and settlement for cryptocurrency transactions. Moreover, the Postal Savings Bank of China has also stopped facilitating any crypto transactions. According to a report published by BBC News, at least 26 miners have been closed. We're talking about China, which accounted for nearly 65% of worldwide Bitcoin production in 2020. What's more? Well, Sichuan is China's second largest Bitcoin producer and it's home to several crypto mines. You might also want to note that the Communist Party-backed newspaper Global Times has reported that more than 90% of China's Bitcoin mining capacity has been shut down. You most probably already know that Bitcoin's network is decentralized. This means that Bitcoin's network does not have to have any central party or middleman to approve transactions, and in order to generate new coins, the blockchain is maintained by miners. These miners race to solve complex puzzles using computers to validate transactions. The miner who wins the race gets Bitcoin in the form of rewards. As a result, we have a power-intensive process. Elon, US Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and China claim that Bitcoin mining harms the environment, which is why its mining should be stopped. And if you're wondering why China is targeting miners in Sichuan, let me tell you that this region is rich with hydropower, particularly in the rainy season. Several miners migrate to Sichuan, where they can tap cheap electricity for mining Bitcoin. Chairman of Bitcoin mining company called Sichuan Duo Technology Co. Limited, Tang Wanlong, said during his interview with Time, "We're like bees chasing flowers." There are two reasons why China hosts nearly 65% of the world's Bitcoin mining capacity. First, electricity is extremely cheap in the country. Moreover, the country has established technology supply chains. And I've already mentioned that crypto mining requires a lot of computing power, which means that the energy consumption is a major overhead for this industry. When rains are plentiful during the summer season, Bitcoin miners flock to Sichuan, where local governments often offer power for pennies. Tang Wanlong said during his interview with Time, "Water is just going to flow away, so rather than waste it, we use it to make the contribution to China." However, it seems as the Chinese government disagrees. According to a report published by Time on June 2nd of this year, Chinese Vice President Li He told a group of finance officials that the government would clamp down on Bitcoin mining and trading activities to ensure financial stability. I believe that the individual miners, as well as traders, might have been able to slip through the cracks. However, large players who run Bitcoin mining companies will have to consider alternative mining hubs. The major reason why China is cracking down on the mining business is Xi Jinping's ambitious promise to make the country carbon neutral by the year 2060. For those who don't know, Xi Jinping is the president of China. Moreover, some analysts also believe that Bitcoin poses a threat to China's strict capital control protective measures to prevent an outflow of wealth abroad. Well, some experts suggest that China only tolerated Bitcoin for a while because it furthered China's aim to knock the United States dollar off of its hegemonic global reserve currency pedestal. One of the co-founders of PayPal, Peter Thiel, also pointed this out by stating, "Even though I'm pro-crypto, pro-Bitcoin maximalist person, I do wonder whether at this point Bitcoin should be thought of as in part as a Chinese financial weapon against the United States." However, China now has its own digital currency, which is called the yuan. Think about it. China is concerned with the success of its nationalistic project, and these aren't the only reason why China is cracking down on the Bitcoin mining industry. Bitcoin mining is worsening computer chip shortages. It is also flouting environmental goals. For China, letting people and companies mine Bitcoin means losing authority, control, and power. You might be thinking that miners in China use cheap electricity and they are also monetizing surplus energy. However, when seasons change, miners have to start using coal to produce enough energy to run these mining operations. This means that they will be burning coal to create currency. Here, it's important to note that solar and wind farms do not produce a steady enough supply of energy for miners. Tang also said that some of the crypto mining operations in the country are illegal. For example, Tang said that some miners have been using power supplies designated for the locals in Ningxia to produce goji berries as a part of poverty elevation efforts. It's important to discuss how China's crackdown is impacting the overall mining industry. Let me tell you that several crypto mining companies have halted operations in the country. This crackdown will also solve the concentration problem. It is important to understand that the high concentration of mining activity in a single country threatens the entire system that underpins a digital currency. Think about it. Bitcoin is used across the globe, and the price was more than $65,000 when China started its crackdown. As a result, the price of this cryptocurrency dropped $30,000. Another problem is that a large portion of miners in one specific region can manipulate a ledger if they decide to do that. All the crypto transactions are transparent and publicly verifiable, which means that if one person within the system tries to corrupt a ledger, every peer will be able to point out that inconsistency, flag it, and even correct it. However, when a large group of miners decide to manipulate a ledger in a particular way, this could trigger a fork in Bitcoin. Founder of Beijing-based Blocks Bridge Consulting, Nishant Sharma states, "That's the problem with having a majority of the hash rates in any one country, not just China, but anywhere. It makes it vulnerable to the nation state or government of that region. That is a concern." At the same time, the demand for graphics cards will also reduce, whose prices have been increased 25% based on the growing requirement. Graphics cards are popular among games and AI industries globally. Bitcoin miners are migrating from Sichuan to countries with year-round cool temperatures and steady renewable energy supplies. These countries include Iceland and Canada. Sharma also said, more capital is flowing into Bitcoin in the West, especially in North America, because the industry is becoming more institutionalized and there is a lack of clarity in China. Final thoughts. So what do you guys think? Why are authorities cracking down on Bitcoin mining in China? If you know any other reason, don't forget to share them with us in the comment section below. That's all for today's video, and thanks for watching.